Hi parents, I am Marilyn Jack, a teacher with over 20 years experience. I have also written the Mechanics of Reading series, very successful, and the Essentials of Reading. Now I need to do some work on the Essentials of Reading, I must admit. But that's not why I'm here. I am here to share with you 10 tips for you to get successful results from online classes. Tip number 1, prepare yourself mentally and physically for the challenge ahead. I know many of you are working and have to be battling with homeschooling your child and stuff like that. But guys, if you are not prepared, everything will be a fiasco. So let it soak in, let it resonate in your system. School is beginning on the 6th of September for those of us in Trinidad, of course. And you have to accept the fact that you are now the savior of your child's education. And when that resonates in your system, that you are the savior of your child's education, you will make all the necessary sacrifices to help your child. Tip number 2. Invest in a device for your child if you can afford it. Maybe now it's time to really get that desktop or that laptop for your child. And while you're at it, if you can afford it, throw in a printer as well. If you can't, well, there are tablets. And if you still can't because things are hard, your phone. Your phone, that fancy phone that you take out all those selfies with. Yes, maybe you might be able to get a very cheap phone for you to collect calls and leave the good phone for your child so that your child can be online. Because thousands of children were not able to be online in the last academic year, but I am sure out of those thousands, many of the parents had good phones. And guys, as I say, tip number 1, prepare yourself mentally. Knowing that you are the savior of your child's education, you'll make that sacrifice. If you have to, let them have access to your phone to get an education. And while we're at it, all those things that might be on your phone that they're not supposed to see, get rid of it if your child is sharing your phone. Tip number 3, create an area in your home for online classes. That's the little school area. I was amazed when I asked my class to put on cameras and I saw some children. Charts and fancy table and chair. I mean, it was so adorable because I taught first year on the Zoom platform. And it was so amazing. Some parents went out of their way to create a print-rich environment for their children. All right? And guys, make sure that your child is in a classroom setting. Just get a corner, not asking for the living room. We're not asking for the living room or the whole house. Get a corner, a wall, like I am here. My corner, my bookshelf right here, everything is right here. Get a corner of your house, chair, table. Invest in 1 or 2 charts for the wall. You understand? So that when the child comes online, you want to be as close to school as possible, an environment as close to the school environment as possible, with all the books and everything right there, neatly packed out. So the child will have a sense, hey, yes, schooling is about to take place. Don't let it be on the bed. Don't let it be on the couch and you just lay back. You know, you must have the right posture for writing and reading and stuff like that. Number 4, preparing the child for the beginning of the online classes. So you must have your breakfast, you know, it must be the same routine you will do for school. You shower and you have your breakfast and you change and you get ready for online classes. All of that will help with the right attitude for learning. I have experienced children bareback in front of the camera, somebody passing in the background, bareback, some parent messaging me and saying, Miss, can you tell so-and-so to put on a top? Somebody forget that the camera is on and you're passing with your bra at the back. Yes, guys. So as long as class is in session and you create that environment, you have that child ready, then you must also remember class is in session and you must be dressed appropriately. Point number 5, supervision. You must supervise your child as much as it's humanly possible. Now let's start with those little ones. Remember I said I teach first year. In the Caribbean we call them first year, from preschool, first year. Okay, so those 5-year-olds, you cannot place them in front of the device. Say, well, okay, I've prepared this nice classroom for you, this nice area in the home for you. Sit there, your teacher is on the camera or on the laptop. That's your teacher. Do everything your teacher is telling you to do. And you go on somewhere around the house doing your household chores. It won't work. Why? About 5 minutes after the child is there, the child will lose interest. Yes, they lose interest very fast. And it even goes for those bigger children as well. You must supervise them. So if you have more than one child, you monitor what this one is doing and then you go and you monitor what the other one is doing, or you probably have them in different places. Just ensure that they are paying attention and taking part in the class activities, because everything will be for nothing. It will be a waste of time to have the device and prepare the area and everything, and now that the child is there, no supervision. So if you can't afford it, get somebody to supervise the child. If you can't afford it and you have to go to work and your child is a much older child, you have to, when you come home from work, you must check what that child did every day. You must do it. Point number 6, guys. Now that you've supervised your child, what about ensuring assignments and homework? Ensure that those things are completed. Okay, so you're just home from work, take a little shower, grab something to eat, or while you're preparing something to eat, you call the child. That's for those who are working. What did you do in school today? You know, question them. Talk about the homework if they don't understand. What about it that you don't understand? If school was good, what about school that you understood? When you come home from work, you must devote a certain amount of time for your child's education. Do not wait for all the assignments to pile up. So you know, okay, this is due, an assignment is due at the end of September. Start working on it right away. Right? Encourage, and you know what? You'll be inculcating the right work ethics in your child. start working on assignments right away. Start working on the homework right away. And when you do that, your child will be more prepared and you wouldn't be stressed at the end. Oh gosh, you know, I have this. Oh, we have 2 days to complete this assignment. Oh, this assignment is due tomorrow. And now you're pulling out your hair and you're frustrated and your pressure gone up. So avoid that kind of stress and get it done as you get it. Parents, and this leads me to my 7th point. Work with a schedule. Plan a schedule. If it's an older child, sit down with that child and let you and that child plan the schedule. This is how it's going to be. And if it's a young child, you plan the schedule. Don't operate by VAPs. Don't just do this and do that. Just let everything be planned. Okay? So, you know, you get up in the morning, you say your prayers, you take your shower, you have your breakfast, whatever routine you have, and you let that child become accustomed to routine. After school, if they have to watch a movie and take a shower, or watch a movie and go outside and have some playtime and then take a shower and grab something to eat and then do some revision, let it be a routine. Have a schedule, and I promise you, if you have a schedule with your child and you stick to that schedule, your online class sessions, it is going to be successful. Always remember, you are the savior of your child's education. A schedule is a must. Because with that schedule, guess what? You will factor in time for child, time for yourself, time for your spouse, time for spending time with the Almighty. And you would factor in all of that on a daily schedule, because guys, if you don't, somewhere something is going to get neglected. For many of you, your spouse is going to get neglected, and that is going to cause problems. Some of you neglect the child because you come home and you're tired and you know you do have a schedule and everything is just, you understand? Some of you even neglect yourself because you're just going, time for this one, time for that one, and guess what? You forget time for yourself. And some of you forget the Almighty altogether. So guys, if you have a schedule and you factor in everything, then everybody will get their fair share and you will have time for yourself. Because guess what? You're planning. And if it can't be every day, find time in your schedule at least during the week. If it's a day for yourself, half day for yourself, just find time so that you will not be overwhelmed. Because if you are overwhelmed, then everything will fall apart. Point number 8. Share the responsibilities. Are you married? Are you living in a house with somebody that you're not married to? And guys, share the responsibilities. It is unfair to leave the mothering and schooling and everything of the child or the children on one parent while the other parent goes free. Parenting need two to make the child, and the two of you must come together now to be the savior of your child's education. So you prepare the area, you have the device, you have the supervision, but one parent is bearing all that load every day. Guys, that will cause a rift in the relationship, because one person will be, obviously, why can't you help? And it will cause arguments. It will cause persons to turn their backs on the other when the night come because I am tired, I'm overworked, and I'm getting no help from you. So guys, share the responsibility. Share the responsibility. And if it's more than one child, share the responsibilities. Help out. Whether the help is in helping with the dishes and helping prepare dinner, especially if both parties are working. While the other person is helping with the homework and the revision, the other parent is there preparing the dinner and stuff like that. And you would be teaching your child a lifelong lesson on how to make it work in a relationship. Share that responsibility of educating your child. Don't be selfish. Point number 9. Let your child work independently. Now, I know it's real tempting. You sit there and Miss asks a question or Sir asks a question and you want to answer. Guess what? It's not your class. Let your child think. Give your child that time to come up with the answer. Don't be too concerned with creating the impression that your child knows and all of that when that's not the case. Don't do it. See those little children? They are very smart, right? And if you make that child feel whenever Miss asks a question, you are going to answer, the child will always wait for you to answer. The child will never think about answering. The child will never think about the answer because mommy or daddy is there. Creating an independent worker. Now, there would be times like those of you who in first year or pre-K, you would have to hold the child's hand to write and stuff like that. Okay, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about if the child has a sentence to write, let the child do it. Let the child do it because guess what? When the child is in school, the child has to do it for himself or herself. And when you answer the question and you do the sentences and you complete the test, the child is at a disadvantage. And guess what? Your device and your nice area and your supervision and everything will go to waste. Because in the end, the child will not be learning anything. And this brings me to my last point. Remember to praise your child for every small effort that he or she makes. Don't be the one to have negative things to say, abusive things to say. Oh, you're so stupid, makes ask the question you can't even answer. No. That is not being the saviors of your child's education. Honey, it's okay if you didn't get it out this time. You will get it out another time. Look at all the other good things that you do. Praise the child. Try to find the child. Your child must do something right. And find that right thing that the child does and compliment that child. Okay, parents, look out for my second video coming soon about tips to help your child read.